Hey everyone, welcome to My Virtual CFO, where I help business owners, entrepreneurs, and even nonprofits manage money smarter, scale faster, and use tech to stay ahead. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful tools every CFO uses, the zero-based budget. Unlike traditional budgets that just tweak last year's numbers, a zero-based budget starts from scratch. Every dollar is given a job, nothing hides in the margins. And in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to build a CFO level zero sum base budget inside Excel, simple, structured, and ready to run your business like a pro. So I'm going to be sharing my screen here, showing you how to build a zero base sum budget in Excel. This can be used for businesses. It can be used in your personal finances. Basically, the key here is we want to give every single dollar a job in our budgets. And today I'm going to be using Google Sheets because it's completely free, unlike Microsoft Excel. Let's start with the basics. A zero-based budget means that every expense must be justified for each new period, not just carried over from before. So you're going to see the budgeted column, and it should be adapted into projections for each new period. Okay, this is going to take some analytics. You really reviewing spend trends, revenue trends, things of that nature. If you've ever asked, where did all my money go? This video is for you. It forces you to think like a CFO, matching every incoming dollar to a specific purpose, whether it's operations, marketing, payroll, taxes, savings, and growth. Your goal, make your total income minus total expenses equal zero. Not because you're broke, but because every dollar is assigned to something intentional. Okay, so let's look at the spreadsheet here, okay? We have revenues, COGs is cost of goods, we have our operating expenses, and we have savings/investments. Okay, and again, can be personalized. This is set up like a business model here, but this can be personalized to your own personal budget structure. So instead of revenues, it would be like your income, right? Your 9-to-5 income. Or other side hustles that are bringing in income to your monthly budgets too. And then instead of like operating expenses, that could be like your monthly mortgage or your rent, just all your bills. We don't need to overcomplicate it when it comes to your personal budget. Just a list of all your expenses, whether you're buying diapers for the baby, your grocery bill for the month, if you're buying dog food, things of that nature. Again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time covering what your expenses may or may not be here. So just to touch on the spreadsheet here. So this is your budgeted. This is what you're projecting to spend each month here, or whatever your period may be. Maybe it's quarterly, right? And this is going to be the actual, and this is going to just simply take your difference here between your budgeted and your actual. Okay, right here you can see it's taking the sum of these columns here. Okay, and then for your total expenses, that's taking the sum of your cost of goods, operating expenses, savings, and investments. We are in this scenario going to treat savings and investments like an expense because we're going to assign every single dollar in this, okay? Even if it is going to an emergency fund, we are going to count that as an expense simply because you can't save more than your expenses minus your revenues, right? So, and right here at the end, okay, I'm just saying if your total expenses are greater than your total revenues, we're going to put it as bad. And if your total revenues are greater than your total expenses, it'll output good. Okay. It's just a simple if statement. Okay. Very easy spreadsheet to mimic and copy off of. Okay. So let's go through this. Seeing our revenue sales come in a little below forecast. We're looking at 2,000. Service income, maybe that hits our projected. And when we're looking at the budgeted column, that's just simply projections, right? That's where your CFO mind and your CFO role really comes into play here, because you're going to know the ins and outs of your business or your home monthly expenses better than anyone else. Okay, other income, we'll say we're hitting a little below that. Okay, so it's simply letting us know that our actual revenues is $6,500. In this example, we're doing it by month. So $6,500 for the month. It's showing us our difference between our projection and what we actually brought in, right? Okay, so let's say all of our cost of goods hit exactly what we're projecting. Okay, and that's showing right here. It's a running list total right here, 4,000. So if you're getting ahead of yourself, you can see right here, we only have $2,500 more to spend, right? Because we have 6,500 in revenue and 4,000 in expenses already. So say because it's a low month, we don't do any marketing. Maybe we can cut some payroll. Maybe that's half the price. Okay. Look, we're tight. We got $500 more to work with. Okay. Office utilities. Maybe that's down a little bit more than we thought. Subscriptions, we cut to 0. Taxes, well, our taxes should be less, right? Because our revenues are down. So maybe it's half of that. And then look right there. We don't have right here. We're still good, right? Because our total revenue is equal to our expenses. Well, because of this, we're not going to be able to put any money in our emergency fund, our equipment reserves. Okay, if there's any equipment in your business that needs repairs, any regular scheduled monthly maintenance on it. 0 future growth and investments. So if you want to grow your company, invest some money into the future, whether that's maybe, could be a number of different things, right? But because our revenues are so low, we cannot put into any savings or investments for this month. Okay. Now let's go through a quick example, like if our revenues are looking really good. Okay. Maybe they're coming in ahead of forecasts here. So maybe our product sales are 6,000, service income 5,000, other income, maybe that's 5,000, right? We have an excellent month. Our total revenues are $16,000 for the month. Okay. Our cost of goods. Okay. Those hit projections. We're able to actually market this month. Okay, and right here, I'm looking at our running totals here, okay? Payroll, 3,000. And you can input these numbers on a week-by-week basis, too, to really help you shore up what your actual spends and revenues are going to look like. Okay, this is a simple spreadsheet. Insurance, office utilities, subscriptions, taxes. Maybe our taxes are a little higher, right? Because we're bringing in more revenues. So maybe it's like 50% more. Maybe it's 900 instead of 600. Okay. So now look, 10,000 in expenses, 16,000 in revenues. We have $6,000 to work with. So maybe we really need to beef up our emergency fund here. This is something where we could put the 6,000 in there. And look, we're still good. Now, for example, if this ran hot on taxes and it's 1,000, look, it auto-populates to bad because our total expenses are greater than our revenues. Now, this spreadsheet really made it CFO level. Instead of personal categories like groceries, entertainment, we thought in terms of business functions, the way a real CFO organizes cash flow. So the key here is a CFO doesn't just track, they forecast, right? So that's how we kind of made our Excel spreadsheet smart, right? In quotes, smart. So the way the spreadsheet's set up is it kind of transforms your budget from a static list into a literal living CFO dashboard, right? And remember, being your own CFO isn't about being perfect. It's about being proactive. A zero-based budget forces accountability and clarity, the same principles major corporations use to make multi-million-dollar decisions on an every week basis. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more videos on financial strategy, automation, and business growth tools. Next week, I'll show you how to build cash flow forecasts using the same Excel file so you can plan for profit and not just for hope. Thanks for watching. This is My Virtual CFO. See you in the next one.